Gods Unchained finally leaked all the new set, Dread Awakening, and today I will make a tier list for each different god, ranking all the cards of the new set. I will make a video tier list for each different god, so it will be easier for you to check the god you want to see. There will be the playlist with all the video right there, and guys, in each one of these different videos, I will even give away a pack of the new set, so remember to drop a like and comment saying your favorite card for that god in each different videos. So be sure to enter in all those giveaways. And now let's jump into the neutral tier list. Neutral tier list, that will be actually the fastest one and more little, but a lot of things actually to say, mostly about the IRINA. So the first card is Gate of Souls, 2 mana, 2/4, frontline, can't attack, and roar, give each enemy creature soulless. So I don't think this card actually will see a lot of play, because it's essentially a warmonger with frontline that can't attack. I mean, the soulless is a thing more, but you care about this just versus not a lot of deck, probably just versus Controlite, Anubian, some death, but yeah, it's pretty bad, so I would say it's C, because like it's not totally meme like D, because it's still a decent stats for a frontline. So, IRINA, guys. IRINA, I don't know, 1 mana, 1/2, at the start of the game, put this card in your mulligan. Roar, if your deck contains no other neutral card, obviously other than IRINA, replace your god power with your domain ascended god power. So essentially, if you have all the card from your class, so like 29 nature card for a nature deck, you will change your god power in the ascended version. But what is the ascended version? Those are the ascended god power. So for light is fervor, 2 mana, give a creature with 2 strength or less, +1/+1. This god power is for sure really good in Agrolite, where you have a sticky creature like Vicar or like other creatures that are protected, warded, and you can buff those pretty easily. And guys, trust me, those buff will work. In the time will for sure work. I would rate this god power like B+. Deviation, 2 mana for nature is delve a nature spell. This god power is amazing for 2 mana. You delve a spell, a nature that are really good for 2 mana. This is like the dream for a control nature. Although you have to sacrifice all the neutral pack, so Emberoni, Demo, Teriel, and so on. But we will talk about this literally at the end of the god power. But still, this god power is A+, is super good. Actually, probably even S-. Concoction is 2 mana for C, draw a card. This god power is amazing for card draw magic, because you will draw a card each turn, essentially, when you start to get at 5-6 mana, so you can use those 2 mana for draw, and you can even foresee, so if you need some burst, you can go for Wind Breath, or Peer Knowledge. So this god power is actually really good too for draw, and even for C is amazing. Forgery is the god power ascended of Deception, and is delve a copy card in your opponent deck and add it to your hand. So essentially you delve a card from your opponent deck. Even this is really good actually, like every of those god power, I would say literally every god power is around A tier, probably even a bit more, because like you get a card, like 2 mana, you get a card from your opponent deck, and I mean, if your opponent is playing that card, it's probably a really good card, so you get a really good card for 2 mana, so it's actually really good. And then the last one is Avarice for 1 mana, both gods draw a card. So this god power is perfect for Dread, because you will put a lot of Dread in your opponent deck, and you will make them draw card, and you will make them take damage and heal you. So it's actually really good. It's even good, like even in Anubian can be good, because you need the draw and so on. And it's even good for mill your opponent, like in a control mirror, you can decide whether or not to make your opponent draw. And guys, that's important in a control mirror, because you can make mill them, so it's actually pretty good. But now let's talk about IRINA. So IRINA, I think, is amazing, because it's a card that will help a lot of players that probably don't have a super big collection with a lot of neutral, Teriel, Demo, Ortuk. This card is perfect for them, because you essentially sacrifice nothing, because you just play class card that cost less, and you get a lot better god power, because those god power are just better than the normal god power for sure. So I love this card, to be honest. He's a super free-to-play player, orientated, we can say, because probably it's not actually worth to sacrifice all the package Blade, Demo, Teriel, Ortuk for just the god power. But if you don't have all those cards, this card is amazing. And actually this card is super aggro oriented, because the majority of the aggro decks, guys, don't have a lot of neutral, so you can literally sacrifice those 2, 3, 4 neutral that you play for get a lot better god power, while instead for control generally you have a lot more neutral, and it's a bit harder instead to get the ascended god power, like you have to sacrifice a lot. But IRINA, I think is S+, to be honest. Like, it's just amazing. Having those god power really good. Actually, just, yeah, S+. S+, but just in the aggro. Like in control, actually, I don't like it that much, but in the aggro, I think it's literally auto-included in almost every aggro. Even because, guys, still a 1 mana that you have always in your mulligan, so it's really, really solid for heavy in an aggro deck. So the next card is Dread Marauder. It's 4 mana, 4/5, roar, give the enemy creatures in your opponent board, and -3/-3 if they didn't start in their deck. Obliterate any that had 0 health. So this card is actually pretty bad just because there is not a lot of mechanic that take a card out of the deck. Probably is just a decent counter for the Sanctum. Like if they take something from the Sanctum, you can use this for -3/-3 is really a strong effect. I really don't see this card getting played, although it's not like a D tier card because, I mean, it's still a 4 mana, 4/5 body, so decent body, like literally perfect body stat wise, and you get even an effect more. I would say it's like a C card. Like it's not amazing, to be honest, because though there are not a lot of cards that work with out of the deck mechanic. Resurgent Sirens, 4 mana, 5/3, roar, both of the players shuffle their hand into their deck and draw equal to the amount of they shuffle. So essentially, if I use this, I have 4 cards and my opponent have 2, I draw other, like I shuffle all my hand and draw other 4 cards, and he does the same but draw 2. This card actually will probably not see getting played in any deck, if not in Dread. Guys, this card in Dread is literally a win condition, because when you have like 10, 15 Dread in your opponent deck, you can use this, and your opponent will most likely draw 4, 5 Dread, and then with those Dread, they draw other card that probably are other Dread, and so on. So this card can literally push like 10 damage and 10 healing in your Dread deck, so it's even good versus aggro. For example, versus aggro, if you are dying, you can use this as for take leech from the Dread, or even for find the broken board wipe that I said, of Dread. So yeah, I think this card is actually A tier in Dread. It's probably actually even higher than A tier in Dread. It's probably, yeah, A+ in Dread, but out of Dread is literally D. Like, you don't play this card out of Dread. Blotted Kraken, 10 mana, frontline, 5/5. While this is in your hand, after your opponent summon a creature, reduce this creature mana cost by 1. So it's not play a creature, but it's summon. So it's essentially just from a bunch of cards summon creature, not a lot. And I mean all the god power that summon creatures, but it's just I don't think no one will ever play that, to be honest, in their deck. So, and then we have Felid Spine Striker, the last card of all my tier list. Is 3 hours that I'm doing tier list. 4 mana, 3/5, roar. If your opponent control more creature than you, deal 3 damage to a random enemy creature. Actually, this creature is pretty solid. It's a solid body with a solid effect. Obviously, you don't play this in aggro because you will most likely have more creature than your opponent, but even in a control or a mid-range, is not so bad. Is auto-including control or a mid-range? Probably not, but is decent. Like, I would say this card is B, actually B+, because, I mean, 3 damage is not a little. Like, this card can a lot of time kill one creature and put a 3/5 body on your board, so I would say B+. Guys, this was all for my 6th tier list video. If you didn't saw the other tier list video, go check. This was the tier list. Remember to check the tier list of these 2 other gods, or even check the playlist with all the other tier lists. Tell me what you think about my rating, and I guess see you to the next video.